Good morning everyone. This is Dhanalakshmi from Adyaman College of Engineering, Assistant Professor from the Department of Computer Science Engineering. Today we are going to see about what is operating system and types of the operating system. Moving on to the definition of operating system. An operating system is a system software that manages the computer hardware and software resources and provides a common services for the computer programs, which is nothing but a system that manages the both hardware and software to provide a common resource, and it acts as the interface between the computer and user. Interface is nothing but a point of interaction or communication between two or more systems or devices. It is responsible for the management and coordination of activity and sharing the resource of the computer. Next, moving on to the second slide. What is interface means? Interaction or communication between the software and hardware components, as I said before. So, what are the types of interfaces means? User interface, application programming interface, hardware interface, software interface, and graphical user interface. So what is user interface means? It enables the human to interact with machines such as keyboards, display, and touch screens. So application programming interface is nothing but it allows the software apps or application to communicate with each other, such as web services and libraries. Hardware interface is nothing but it connects the hardware components. What are the hardware components means? USB ports, hardware interfaces, and device drivers. These are the hardware interfaces. So what a software interface means? It defines how the software component interacts, such as function calls and data structures or protocols. Last but not least, graphical user interface is nothing but it uses the visual elements. What are the visual elements means? Windows, icons, and menus, which can be interact with computer resources to share the resources. So why we use the interface means for interacting purpose. The main characteristic of interface is standardization. Standardization is nothing but it follows standards or protocols to ensure compatibility and interoperability. So second is modularity. Modularity is nothing but it enables the modular design, allowing the components to be developed or tested or else maintaining independently the system. Abstraction is it is a back-end process, is nothing but interface side implementation details. Moving on to the next slide, how the OS interact means usually OS act as a middleware between the user and hardware. OS can be interacted through the application. User can access the hardware through the application only. So we are telling as a middleware. Moving on to the next slide, types of operating system. So what are all the types of operating system means? It is 8 different types. First one is batch operating system. Second one is multi-programming operating system. Third one is multi-processing operating system. Fourth one is multitasking operating system. Fifth one is time sharing operating system. And sixth one is distributed operating system. Seventh one is network operating system. And eighth one is real-time operating system. Let's see one by one briefly. First one is batch operating system. This type of operating system does not interact with the computer directly, but which means it is non-interactive, and batch processing assigns a group of jobs or programs together rather than executing them individually. It is the responsibility of the operator to sort the jobs with similar needs. Batch operating system is designed to manage and execute large number of jobs efficiently by processing them into groups. By seeing this diagram, we can understand easily. So here, n number of jobs has been assigned to the operating system. The what operating system will do means it will categorize as a batches and assign these batches to the CPU for processing further resources. How the workflow of this batch operating system will be means, first it will assign a job and a job submission. Afterwards it will be scheduling the particular job. Later it will execute that particular job, and finally it will complete the process as a job. Major application of this batch operating system will be data processing and scientific computations. So for that reasons we are using the batch operating system for performing two more jobs at concurrently. So moving on to the next type of operating system, multi-programming operating system, is nothing but as simply illustrated as more than one program is present in the main memory and any one of them can be kept in execution, which is nothing but it allows the multiple programs to run concurrently on a single computer, sharing the same resource to execute the programs. Same resource means CPU, memory and IO devices. Mainly it uses for the concurrent execution, resource sharing, context switches and process scheduling. For this purpose we are using multi-programming operating system. So moving on to the next slide, multi-processing operating system. It is the type of OS in which more than one CPU is used for the execution of resources. It betters the throughput of the system. Nothing but a OS that supports multiple processors or cores, allowing multiple processed or thread to execute concurrently, improving the system's throughput and responsiveness. Why we are using means for improvising the system performance and throughput increasement for the resource utilization also. So moving on to the next slide, multitasking operating system is simply a multi-programming operating system with having facility of round-robin scheduling algorithm. It can run multiple programs simultaneously. There are two types of multitasking system which are listed below: preemptive multitasking and cooperative multitasking. Moving on to the types of multitasking system, we'll see simply what is multitasking operating system, which means allows the task or process execute concurrently by shared basis. It will be using the same resources in the sense CPU, memory and input-output devices. Why we use this multitasking operating system means for task switching or process scheduling and concurrent execution, and also to save the memory. For memory management purpose we are using the multitasking operating system. Moving on to the preemptive multitasking system. In preemptive multitasking, the operating system can initiate context switching from running process to the another process. It's nothing but it allows the OS to preempt or interrupt a task and switch to the another task. The OS allows stopping the execution of currently running process and allocating the CPU to other process. It's nothing but based on the priority as which process came first, it will be executing first. That is called as round robin method. This mechanism of taking control of the operating system from one process and giving it to another process is called preempting or preemption. Moving on to the cooperative multitasking, it's quite opposite to the preemptive technique. In cooperative multitasking, the operating system never initiates context switching from running process to another process. A context switching occurs only when the process voluntarily yield control periodically. It's like execution of first process and the next one. So moving on to the next type of operating system, time sharing operating system. Each task is given some time to execute so that all tasks work smoothly. So each process will be allocated by the time slots, that's called as time sharing operating system. These systems are also known as multitasking system. The task can be from a single user to a different user also. The time that each task get to execute is called quantum. After this time interval over, OS switches over the next task. So sixth type of operating system is distributed operating system. This type of operating system is a recent advancement in the world of computer technology and being widely accepted all over the world, and that too a great pace, right? Various autonomous interconnected computers communicate with each other using a shared communication network. It's nothing but it manages the collection of independent computers or nodes connected through a communication networks to provide a single system image. For that purpose, we are telling this as a distributed operating system. It works as independent basis. So moving on to the seventh type of operating system, network operating system. This system run on a server and provide the capability to manage data, user groups, security, application and other networking functions. This type of OS system allows shared access to the file printers, security, application and other networking function over a small private network. Here in this diagram, one single file server is distributing the files to a different clients by a network. This is called as network operating system. Moving on to the real-time operating system. A real-time operating system is a multitasking operating system that aims at executing real-time application. It responds to the input instantly, which means it guarantees a process event or data by a specific moment of time. Okay, these types of OS serve real-time system. The time interval required to process and respond to the input is very small. This time interval is called as response time. Let's move on to the types of real-time system. There are two types of real-time system. First one is odd real-time system and second one is soft real-time system. First of all, what is odd real-time system means? It refers to the ability of the operating system to provide a guaranteed and predictable responses. In the word itself, it denotes that predictable responses will be generated within a strict time limit. Okay, next one is soft real-time system. What is soft real-time system means? It will provide a predictable and timely responses or event, but when compared to odd real-time system, it has less stringent timing constraint. So we use mostly soft real-time system. What are the key characteristics of this soft real-time system means? It can be done by predictive response, high throughput and low latency. For that purpose, we will be using a soft real-time system frequently. So in last slide, so major function of the operating systems are resource management, data management and job management. Also a standard mean of communication between the user and computer. Finally, I conclude my topic regarding operating system by major functions of operating system. Resource management means we can manage any of the resources by using the OS. Also a data management, job management. Also it is the only way to communicate a user and computer. It acts as a middleware. So thank you.